So this is all like the developing suburbs. So this is gonna be like houses and all these. I actually like the individual house more, as opposed to these crummy townhouses which are glued together. So I know townhouses are great and everything, but to me, this is just too close. I wouldn't want this. I would want something more like a house and land package, which is an individual house with a fence and a bit of yard. So I don't really appreciate this. It just looks too close for comfort. It's like they're packed side by side. There's going to be a separation, of course, wall, but I think I like these ones more, because they've got like yard and a fence. So I've always wanted a big 2-story house though. I can only afford something like that if I get a job. If I get a job, I can afford the bigger one too. So I would want the 2-story with a balcony, so that you can maybe a balcony on the back as opposed to front or something. I would want a 2-story because I like getting distance from the street. But I would love to get like this house option. Look at that. This house option. These are all Metrocom's houses. This is what I'd want to buy if I don't get any email from the real estate by the end of the year. But, saying, hey, you got a deal where you can get a really expensive house. All you need to do is pay a certain amount, or pay whatever's in your account at the end of each fortnight or month or whatever. So if I don't get that, I'm going to be looking at a house just like this, like these little houses. So I think houses are really interesting. It just shows you what you want, what you can have and what you would like, as opposed to, I don't really like old houses. I want a new one, and I just walk around and get inspired. But I like these old houses too. I'll show them to you later. So I'll just keep this rolling. The old houses are key too. So up here is like the old style houses. These are all second-hand houses that have been had by new owners, and they've got like retaining walls and stuff, and it's like they got huge gardens. And so you look at these houses and you think, I'd love a house like this, with a huge garden and a good sized house. They're often, but they're not always as comfortable or as quiet as a new house. That's the downside. If you can't make it as comfortable, they feel like old houses. So, but I love these yards and things. I love the architecture as well. It's like not the same as your commercial modern day house. It's like it has variation, but I'm living in one of the old houses and there's mice and stuff. So old house isn't flash, but it's got a good sized yard. It makes you appreciate old houses too. But I would want a new house because I just think I find relief from a new house because they're very quiet, and that's sort of what I appreciate most, the quietness of the new houses. Sort of what I'm always sort of wanting, as opposed to living in this old house which is noisy and doesn't have half the good stuff that the new houses do. But the good thing about the old houses is they've got a good sized yard, and they're more like a house, and their sizes are huge. You can get a 2-story old house for a lot cheaper than a new 1-story house. So that's what I said, you have to think before you buy.